Welcome back to the Everybody Soccer Vlog. Again, my name is Bill, and today we're going to be taking a look at the differences between Alyssa Naeher and Ashlyn Harris. Obviously, Hope Solo has been out of the picture for a little bit now, and we're looking for a replacement for her. And while you can make a case for certain other goalkeepers, these two seem to be the front runners as far as replacing Solo. So, first we got to understand the differences between Naeher and Harris. And if you hear sometimes people talk about certain goalkeepers, you hear the phrase "great shot stopper." Well, that's every goalkeeper. If you're not a good shot stopper, you're not going to be in contention for any starting spot anywhere. So we're going to take a closer look at the small, subtle differences between the two goalkeepers. So first, taking a look at Alyssa Naeher, she's probably a good comparison to Brad Guzan for those familiar with the U.S. men's national team. She's very patient. She's going to wait for the play to unfold before she really plays her hand. She's not going to just be throwing herself out there trying to beat it to the punch, per se. And I really like her footwork for the most part. I think you saw that one extension save. She does good to get herself there without just, it's not an immediate dive. She works herself over there, which is great. With that front smother there, I think that's probably a more difficult play for her to make, as she has to move her feet to get there and get her body over it. She's not just throwing her body from the start of the play or from the kick. I will say she's a little bit weak on 1v1s. I think the penalty is probably a good example of that. She comes off her line a little bit late there. She's out of the screen, but you can just see how long it takes her to get there. She's waiting, and then she decides to go. I will say the one that was played over the top that kind of trickled into the 18, that one's going to be a little bit more difficult play just because you can see the defenders, they seem to be in the picture, and then they just kind of fall to pieces, and then Naeher's left out to dry there. And so while the ball does get deep into the 18 where you think, oh, she could just pick that up, she's actually very difficult play for her to figure out, well, should I come for it or not. The other goals are just, I hate to blame the defense on this, but they're really putting Naeher in a bad spot. So while she's giving up all these goals against France, I think some of it's reflective of her play, but I think she did very well in the tournament as a whole, as far as showcasing herself. So if Alyssa Naeher is the parallel to Brad Guzan, obviously it makes sense for Ashlyn Harris to be the parallel to Tim Howard. And while it may sound like easy rhetoric of just saying, oh, the men's side, the top two are going to be the parallel to the women's side, top two, that's not the case at all. Just to make that comparison, just to do it. If you watch the play styles, it's actually pretty similar. So while Naeher and Guzan are going to be more patient, more just waiting for the play to unfold and then responding, Ashlyn Harris and Howard, if you watch them play, they're going to be putting themselves out there. They're going to be chasing balls down, and it's more of a chaotic play style. And this can be good or bad. That's not to say it's a negative thing. It's just kind of how they play. Two very different approaches, but I think Harris's, in this case, one of her big strengths are kind of 1v1 situations. And while it may seem that, I'll take a look at this play here. I don't particularly love her approach to this. As the ball is being struck, she's still moving forward. The ball's kind of hit close to her, but if you kind of just watch her body shape, she kind of knows how it's going to play out, and so she could very easily come out with her hands too high or her body too low, and that ball slips in. And then we say, oh, why didn't she make the save? Well, she makes it look easy because she's good in those positions. So she's kind of a scrambler type of goalkeeper, and I don't think her mechanics are going to be as clean as Naeher. And so one example is on the goal against England, just watching her lead foot is really underpowered here, and it's all from her back leg. And you ask, well, how do we know that she dives, doesn't she? Well, just look how she's turning her body. She's not getting that shove off the ground from her right foot as she should. Her right knee, you can kind of see, doesn't really elevate into the air. It's all from her back leg, and the powers come from her back leg. She's kind of using her right leg as a way to kind of teeter herself forward, but she's not getting that drive from that dive that I think Germany's Schultz had a good example of what that should look like, and even Naeher, I think, probably can do that a little bit better. So pros and cons to both goalkeepers, but it kind of comes down to what's the goalkeeper that the women's team actually needs. So for me, as far as the goalkeeper we need in net, it really comes down to play style. And so right now it's such a big question mark with the women's team as far as what to expect. Are we going to be seeing a 3-5-2 of kind of evolving outside back midfield, or are we going to be going back to more of a standard four back? And so that's a question for me. If it's going to be the standard four back and there's going to be more of that security in the back, I think the answer is Naeher so she's not put in those 1v1 situations. There won't be as many of those scrambles inside the box. It's going to be more your typical shot from a little bit more distance, maybe some crosses that Naeher can handle with ease. But if we're going to be going to that 3-back where things are going to be slipping through, in hopes that our offense can kind of click forward a little bit more and get more chances on goal, but we're going to give up some more chances on our end. I do think Harris is the answer there, of a goalie that can move inside the box confidently, freely. She's just going to be a little more smooth back there. And being put in those chaotic scramble situations, I do think Harris is going to succeed more than Naeher. That's it for this week. Next week, we're going to be taking a closer look at fouls by goalkeepers that lead to penalty kicks, as MLS has already given us a number of examples just within the first 2 weeks of goalkeepers fouling, some leading to cards, some not, most of them leading to penalty kicks. And so there's a big debate on if goalkeepers should be called for more fouls or if they should be protected more. And so we're going to be taking a closer look at that. Until then, you can leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any ideas or feedback of something you'd like to see more of.